Hey everybody, and welcome to Maximum Potential. This is a podcast that focuses on anything or anybody that we feel has a lot of potential, and we'd like to use this format to hopefully shed some light on these people, projects, and products. My name is Dave Raposa, and I'm here with my best friend Dan Warren.
Hey.
And this is episode 2. It's August 15th, 2014, and let's get started.
Cool.
So, first things first, let's highlight some people. My pick for this week is Martin Ansin. That's Ansin spelled A-N-S-I-N. You can go to... Actually, I spelled that wrong. That's it's Martin Ansin, but Ansin spelled A-N-S-E-N. So martinansin.com. He did a lot
Sorry, Mark.
Yeah, sorry. And you just said Mark.
Oh, God.
But he did a lot of Mondo posters, who do like a lot of movie posters, like old movie posters. They'll bring him back for like re-releases or when they're gonna like have a show, and they have like different IPs and things. But he does a lot of like the older ones, like The Mummy. He did Dracula. Like they're these really ornate, beautiful. I don't know, like maybe I don't know how many colors, but they're really limited palettes. But there's just like solid black kind of inking going on with really good compositions and designs. They're just really beautiful to look at. Yeah, he's definitely somebody that I've always kind of wanted to be able to do.
Yeah, I don't know how many times I looked at the Dracula one. I had it saved that I looked at constantly.
Yeah, it's super nice. You can't really get any of the posters anymore since Mondo always does really limited runs, and they pretty much sell out in the first few hours that they're released.
So basically, if a new one comes out that this guy works on that you guys like, get it as soon as you can, because they always sell out, and once they're gone, they're gone.
Yeah, but you can go and check out his work. Again, martinansin.com. Really cool. You know, just do a Google image search. He has tons of work up there. But yeah, beautiful stuff.
I'm looking at his Batman 66 one. It's ridiculous. So good.
Next for people is Mike Azevedo. You can go to mikeazevedo.blogspot.com. Azevedo spelled A-Z-E-V-E-D-O. He also has a DeviantArt if you just want to Google search his name. Mike is an old Crimson Dagger member from the group we used to run. It's still active on the forums and everything. You can Google that if you want.
Yeah, Mike was my pick for this week because Mike's consistently probably the person whose sketches and paintings I look at the most to get like inspiration and to get pumped from. Basically, the great thing about Mike's stuff, if you're not familiar and you take a look, a lot of people, you know, when you start working in the industry and you start doing client work and stuff, you lose a lot of the stuff that made you as you work on jobs, because you know you have to look like a million different people over the course of being a freelancer. But Mike maintained it somehow, and he kept it and he refined it. So like all of that, like, you know, that kind of whimsy and wonder and all the cool stylization that he used to do, he still does, and he keeps getting better and better and better at it. It's very like non-compromising, and it's just really cool to see that it's just him as an individual all the way through. And yeah, he puts out tons of new stuff. He's doing really, really awesome color stuff now that just keeps getting better and better with the lighting. But yeah, it's just like really, really fun stuff. A lot of stuff for Dota 2. But yeah, definitely check it out if you haven't seen it, because it's just really, really fun work to look at. It's always really exciting and energetic.
Yeah, in the same way we were talking about Alexander Zidboin yesterday, he's that kind of artist, you know, like where you just feel like, you know, if you just see the work, you go, oh, that's that person. And it's so specifically his thing. Mike has just a lot of really iconic work for just like his own personal take on everything. I don't know, it's really beautiful.
Yeah, it's awesome to look at, and it's really fun, and it's a good reminder that if you want to draw a certain way, you should just draw a certain way, because it works. There's an audience for it. You can have fun with it, and I don't know, it's just really good to look at, to keep that stuff in mind.
Yeah, really vibrant, colorful pieces that are also rendered realistically with a lot of saturated bits, and It's really like literally it's like fun images. So yeah, go check them out. The next is a pick from somebody on our Facebook page, and if you don't follow it, we actually have been updating it quite a bit already. Our Facebook page is Maximum Potential. I think it's just facebook.com/maximum. I don't know.
I think if you type it in, it'll come up as a community page or something. But
yeah, but with any of the links that we're talking about on this podcast, you can just go into the description and they'll be listed down there to check out. But this one comes from Anton Messina Hallstrom, and he suggested that we go and check out Paul Dainton's Warhammer book covers. So Paul Dainton, spelled Dainton. I couldn't find a link directly to his website. If you can possibly link us to one, that would be great. We'll be sharing the cover that he suggested we take a look at on our Facebook page. It's really cool. It's this high elf kind of guy. It's
really, really awesome stuff. Yeah, again, if anyone knows where to find a collection of his work or a website or a Tumblr or anything that he manages, we'd love to have access to that. We looked for a while, we couldn't find it, but yeah, I mean, just Google his name, look at his stuff. The Warhammer stuff's really cool. It's always cool to see like realist people that do like the super, super high end like realism stuff, tackle projects like Warhammer. Because like you get these really crazy designs and they got to make them work in like a total reality, and it's always has like really, really cool results.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like Karl Kapinski's work.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah, really, really cool.
Yeah, it's pretty stuff. Moving into projects, our first project is by Just Shields, and it's his RPG character compendiums. It's at patreon.com/justshields. It's patreon.com/JESHIELDS.
Yeah, and apologies, we're not sure if it's J Shields, Just Shields, Yeah Shields, but
I didn't want to say J Shields because I figured you guys would all look for JAY Shields.
Yeah. But I've been following this for a while, and I'm like really, really into what Jay's been doing. Basically, he's created a platform on Patreon to do compendium books that accompany role-playing scenarios. If anyone's familiar with tabletop games like Pathfinder, Dungeons and Dragons, Shadowrun, that kind of stuff. But he's his own art director, and he's doing the stuff that he wants to do and the stuff that his patrons want him to do. So basically, every time he puts out a new compendium, it's an update of characters, monsters, scenario illustrations for people to use in their tabletop games, but there's no middleman that's hiring Jay. He's doing it all himself, which is really, really cool. And I think it's an awesome model. And he gets to like have a lot more freedom, and the people that are backing him get to ask for specific things. And the results have been really crazy. It's been a really good turnout, and I really hope that not only that it grows, but maybe that it kind of shifts how that sort of thing can work for other people as well. So just wanted to like push some attention towards that. If you haven't heard of it, check it out. If you like tabletop games, definitely support it, because this is a good change, and it's a really, really good idea, and he's putting out tons of cool work for it.
Yeah, so what exactly happens? Like, does he like do things that are formatted to specific games, or?
I believe he's just illustrating characters, monsters, and scenario stuff, and I think
for like anything.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much for anything you want to use it for. But I think the higher level people that back it with more money on Patreon get to. Again, there's a lot of information on the Patreon. I read through it a couple times, and I've looked at a few of the updates, but I'm pretty sure they get to ask for specific things the more they donate. But other than that, it's like, if anybody buys extension books for tabletop games, there's like, new characters, new monsters, new locations, new scenarios, like, and all of those have to be illustrated by people as a pack. But he's basically doing that himself and coming up with all these things, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that sounds really cool. It's almost like an endless kind of expansion pack.
Yeah.
All right. Well, our next project is for the Temple of Art documentary. This is templeofart.net, and it follows a ton of artists.
Yeah, it's crazy. I had the list open 2 seconds ago. I'm trying to find it right now. Here it is. I'm just going to go through name some names real quick. Basically, This is a I forgot the director's name. I'm sorry. I know that Neil Gaiman's involved with it as like a producer. But basically, let me see. I think the director's name is Alan Amato, I think.
Yeah, it's Alan Amato, ALLANAMATO,
But
alanamato.com.
I'm gonna breeze through some names real quick of artists that are involved with this thing. There's 52, so I can't go through all of them. But Grant Morrison, Baron Story, Greg Ruth, Kent Williams, Jim Maffid, J.W. Cooper, Rebecca Gway, Mark Sheff, Brian Thies, so many people. John Malloy.
Yeah,
Um,
just like Dave McKean, Baron Story, and Bill Sienkiewicz. I was like, whoa, that's
it's
really
crazy.
cool.
Yeah, there's so many people. But yeah, basically, it's from what I can gather from the Kickstarter page, it's basically a documentary about how these artists think, how they make their work, their process, what inspires them, what keeps them going, the lifestyle that comes along with it. And it's going to look into each individual one and, find common ground between them, differences between them, really look at the process. But it's a pretty huge project. It's only got 5 days left on the Kickstarter, is why I wanted to promote it today. Basically, they've raised about 45 of the 65 they need to make it. And if you haven't heard of this project and you're into any of these artists and you want to learn more about them, I would definitely say, go check it out. There's all kinds of exclusive prints and stuff you can get for backing the Kickstarter. I think it's going to be a really good movie to leave on while you're working. It
Yeah,
feels like one of those documentaries that's going to be really, really good for getting stuff done when you put it on in the background. But yeah, I mean, definitely go check it out if you haven't. Again, there's going to be a link on this. We'll put it up on the Facebook page too. But definitely check it out. There's so many people involved with it. It's just one of those things where you should back it because it takes the community and elevates it, makes more people aware of it, makes it, be taken more seriously. It's just good for everybody.
yeah, and this is it's a documentary that hasn't just like been waiting to start. It's been in the making for 2 years, so it's
Yep.
just them. It's just you being able to support the rest of the process.
Yeah. But it looks really cool. And yeah, definitely go check it out. Watch the video they have on their Kickstarter. And yeah, I would definitely, if you know any of the people involved, which chances are there's so many of them, I'm sure everybody here knows at least one or two, possibly more of the people involved with it. It's definitely worth backing. So check it out.
Yeah, that's templeofart.net. So the next one comes from another user YouTube comment. It said, "Squarriors, you have to talk about Squarriors." This is from this is from Benja. Squarriors is a graphic novel, and they have a Kickstarter up. It's by Ash Mac Mazco, I want to say, and then Ashley Witter is the artist. Ash Mazco is the writer. This is a pretty cool looking Kickstarter. I'm going to pull it up right now. But
This is the,
basically, it's
yeah.
about two tribes of animals that find themselves on the brink of war, and it's really cool looking. It's got these. I would say they're pretty realistically done, like
Yeah.
drawings. The covers at least look really cool. They have these squirrels with like blood all over their faces, wearing like rags, holding
I
all
mean,
kinds of like war hammers and battle axes and
if
stuff.
you have any interest in like the old Redwall books or any of that kind of cool stuff, or like the Miss Mantle series, or like Secret of Nim, I mean, definitely check it out because it's like anthropomorphic creatures like the squirrels and stuff like that, but they're really, really well done. Like the artwork's really, really good. It looks like it's going to be a really, really quality product.
Yeah, it's really well done. The pages look very cool. Um, there's not a ton of stuff online as far as like what the story is to read through the pages and things, but the line work is really well done. It's beautiful line work. They have 13 days to go on their Kickstarter. They've already gone past their goal, which was 12,500. They're at 13,009. So yeah, you should go and look into it. Their website is devilsdo.net. You
Right.
can go there as well to get more information. But the Kickstarter, if you just look for Squarriors, teeth and nails, you should be able to find it in Google. Squarriors is spelled Squarriors.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. Definitely go check out the art. Definitely back it. They've got some stretch goals. I think they unlocked the first one. I don't know if they, I don't think they've unlocked the other ones yet. But yeah, it's a really cool project. Some cool people are working on it. The artwork is just really, really good. It's better than you'd expect from, a big graphic novel. So like, definitely go look at it.
And this is a good segue into our product section because we wanted to highlight a new game trailer that came out after Gamescom, which is Ghost of a Tale. You can go to ghostofatale.com to check it out. There's more information there as well.
So excited for this game. It looks amazing. I have no idea what the gameplay is going to be. I have no idea if it's going to be like a Zelda game or like one of those adventure games where you're just exploring a place. I have no clue. But based on the trailer, basically, the environments, the lighting, the character designs, the mood, like the color palette, like everything looks so good. It's basically the reason it's a good segue. Again, it's with like mouse anthropomorphic creatures. It's with these, kind of rodents underground. There's undead rats wearing armor. There's like a little mouse warrior that you play as with like plate armor and a little lantern. And it looks like the ultimate game I would have wanted when I was a kid. Like it just looks exactly like what I always wanted to come out, and it's finally coming out. And it's just the artwork is so good.
Yep. And still waiting on to see exactly what all the gameplay is going to be like and everything else. But so far, it looks really promising. And yeah, the graphics alone look really great. The designs and just the way he moves around, the little mouse character, and the lighting and overall like mood of the whole thing. It's really cool.
It's really cool. But yeah, you can just go to ghostofatale.com. That's TALE, not TAIL. And you can check out the trailer, you can check out other media, you can check out 3D turnarounds of some of the characters, including this really cool frog that's wearing like seashell armor. You can look at some environments, get a feel for the project. But again, that's coming out, and it looks really, really cool. So if you're into that kind of stuff, any kind of fairy tale storybook sort of thing, again, Secret and Nim, very heavy influence. Go check it out because it's really, really cool.
Yeah, I think it's an Xbox One and a PC game.
Mm-hmm.
So next product is the Tactics Ogre Let Us Cling Together art book with all of the artwork being done by Akihiko Yoshida.
So good.
Yeah, we'll have a link to the Amazon product description, whatever, in the comments. I mean, description, not the comments. Anyway, it's a really really well done book. Like the concepts are so ridiculous. The armor designs, there's so much originality in this book, and it's realistic, but it's also exaggerated to the extent where like huge characters, like these huge, really like intricate, beautiful but blown out kind of armor designs, and the sort of like what are they, like the undead knights and stuff have like that old kind of almost like gypsy look to them. Like
Yeah,
there's
it's
so
cool
many really cool design influences in this book.
every design in the book echoes something that actually exists in medieval European history, but it's extended and exaggerated to a point with all these Eastern influences where it looks wholly original, but everything in there comes from something believable. So as a whole, all the artwork feels like it fits. And that's the coolest thing about the book is that usually when you get a big game like that with like over 100 characters that have to be designed, they micromanage and they hand different packs of characters to different artists. But every character in this game, in this universe, every armor design, every weapon was handled by this one artist.
Yeah, and oh my god, is it just beautiful, the line work this guy has. Oh my,
It's amazing.
nothing really like falls through in this book. Everything's consistent.
If you ever played like Vagrant Story or Final Fantasy Tactics back in the day and you're into that like really cool pencil watercolory kind of vibrant style, this follows suit with that and amplifies it. But like I look at this book all the time. My buddy John Brassel found it for me at a little store over in San Francisco and mailed it to me because he knew I was looking for it. It's an absolutely amazing book. Every time you look at it, you just want to draw after. It's one of those, like, no matter when you look at it, you're like, oh, I got to draw. I got to sharpen my pencil. I got to draw. Like, it's so good for that. So many good ideas. So many good things to look at. There's process stuff. There's rejected sketches. It's just great. Just a huge, awesome book.
Yeah, it is one of my favorite art books that I have. I have that on my desk all the time. I'll reference it and just look at it, or just flip through it to get inspiration because I want to draw.
Mm.
The next book that we want to highlight is called Weaponry: An Illustrated History. It's by Chuck Willis.
Yeah. So basically, if anyone listening who was in the United States, I don't know about other countries, but probably, I'm not sure, but there used to be like, Borders bookstores and way more Barnes and Nobles and all kinds of other bookshops. And they'd always have like a big table of reference books somewhere in the front that were like, $9, $20, somewhere in there. And they would just be these huge like coffee table books full of high quality pictures of like locations or items or like artwork. And then all those stores went out of business like overnight pretty much, and they all went out of business. And I just found out recently because I bought this weaponry book and I got one for Dave for his birthday ages ago. It's a couple hundred pages of just incredibly high resolution photographs of actual historical weapons, starting in the Bronze Age and going all the way to the modern era. So every kind of pistol that was ever invented, every kind of sword from every kind of country you can think of, weapons you didn't even know existed, like hatchet guns that like fired the axe blade down, really weird stuff like spread shot designs for guns that just had five barrels pointing in different directions, early style grenades, just crazy, crazy stuff that you've never even heard of. Beautiful designs, really expansive book, but because all these stores went out of business, and this is why I wanted to promote it this week, on Amazon you can get this book for as low as 40 cents.
And yeah, it's worth paying the shipping. It's
Yeah,
really good.
the shipping's $3. So you can get this book, which is several hundred pages of stuff, beautiful stuff that you can use in your artwork or even just look at if you're a fan of like cool stuff or if you cosplay or anything like that. But you can get it for under $5. The book itself, there's I think at least 10 or 20 copies that are only 40 cents. So it's like
Yeah, and
really,
there's
really
loads
good.
of them under $1.
Yeah, tons. So like if you want a resource that's cheap and awesome, like we both have this book, it's great and it costs almost nothing.
Yeah, so go and check that out. Easily just find that on Amazon. Took me 2 seconds, but the link will be in the description.
Yeah.
And now we're ready to talk about what we're listening to. This is just anything we have going on in the background while we're working or, taking a break.
Yeah, keep you pumped and interested in what you're doing.
Yeah, for me, I've been listening to Kevin Rose's Random Show. But all the Kevin Rose stuff in general is pretty good. You can go to youtube.com/user/Kevin Rose. They're all pretty long. For the most part, I think the random shows all run over an hour. I'm pretty sure, but they're really interesting. He highlights a lot of just different things, like things to keep your brain active and healthy while you're just like doing your day-to-day stuff, like random experiments they've done to try and figure out like how to best like have a how to have a good work day or anything really. There's one of him like throwing a raccoon down a staircase. That one's pretty good. A real raccoon that attacked his dog. But there's I don't know the exact number of them because they number them randomly with every episode.
Right.
But they're really good and easy to listen to in the background, and lots of random helpful things that I've gone out and actually bought and really like. So yeah, that show's really cool. And Dan, you want to talk about yours?
Yeah, mine is I want to get this right. It's BillMoyers.com. It's this guy that interviews people called Bill Moyers. He did a series of interviews that totals at around 6 hours with one of my favorite authors, one of Dave's favorite authors, Joseph Campbell, who's the guy who wrote like The Power of Myth, The Hero with a Thousand Faces, Hero's Journey. If you're not familiar with him, basically he's like this crazy professor master guy who knows every little detail about why mythology follows the structure it does, what the character archetypes mean, throughs between like ancient mythology, Arthurian mythology, modern mythology. Like he understands the story structure of every great legend and can break it down. he was like the inspiration for Star Wars. If anybody is familiar with who I'm talking about, like George Lucas read The Hero with a Thousand Faces and The Hero's Journey, and he modeled the whole story for like the original trilogy off of that structure and put in all these characters and plug things in. So like number one, it's a really fascinating thing to listen to if you're doing anything creative or have your own stories you're working on, because it's a really, really great thing to learn from in terms of how to tell a story in an interesting way that relates to people. Even if you're not, though, it's 6 hours of amazingly intelligent discussion between a guy who's asking really good questions and a dude who knows absolutely everything about his subject.
Yeah, it's a really insightful thing, like just to go through it and figure out slowly, like as you listen to the full 6 hours, he goes through it all and you're like, wow, everything does just fall into this same exact formula pretty much. And
yeah, crazy
yeah,
archetypes you never heard of, crazy metaphors you might never have heard of, like the real meaning of like what a dragon is in terms of like a dragon slayer tale. Like it's so good. If you've never listened to it, I highly recommend listening to all of it. If you have, listen to it again because you know it's good. But yeah, really, really good stuff, and it's a good 6 hour chunk, so that's almost a whole work day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that just about does it for all of our suggestions. But if you really love a person, product, or project that you feel isn't getting enough attention, please link us in the comments, and we'll hopefully have a chance to check it out and bring it on to the next show. But yeah, thank you all for listening.
Yeah, thanks for coming. Definitely post. We were really glad to see people posting stuff last week because we see lots of stuff and we love lots of stuff. But like we said last time, there's no way we're going to see it all. So if you have something you're really passionate about, a person, a project, a product, post it. We want to know about it. We want to share it. We want to like spread the word. We want to see it for ourselves to get excited about it. But yeah, we've got microphones now, so we sound good. But I'm sorry we got people's names wrong. That was the trade-off this week.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Screwed up a few names, but we sounded great while we did it. So
yeah, but we'll be updating the Facebook page all week. That won't just be a from time to time kind of thing.
Right.
We're going to keep that consistent.
Definitely.
And yeah, you guys can always just post whatever you want on that page and say, hey, check this out. It doesn't have to just be in the comments.
Right. So yeah, a lot of the stuff we post on there we might not talk about on here. All the stuff we talk about on here is going to end up on there, though. So.
Hey, let me just say this: don't buy the cheapest version of the Keurig. Just a suggestion. Because mine got clogged and it started doing this thing where I'd get like 3 millimeters of coffee at the bottom of my coffee cup, and it would waste an entire K-cup. I just replaced it. And I read online, it said you can fix it with a paper clip by straightening it out and sticking it into the needle that pours your coffee. And I did that, and then it didn't do anything. And then I was like, well, what does the actual instructions inside the Keurig say? And I open it up, and there's an illustrated picture of a guy unfolding a paper clip.
It says, don't do this.
No, it says do this.
Oh,
it's the
no.
only way to fix it.
I thought you voided your warranty. That was the outcome I was hoping for.
No, got it.
Oh, man. Hey, if you have a Keurig that works, though, they found a great secret where you can do one large cup setting and then also a small cup setting and get almost double the coffee out of a K-cup.
It's not a secret. I'm sure tons of people do that.
It's a secret. You can only find it here. It's exclusive. Have a great week.
All right. Bye, everybody.